Techies and scientists, so welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna make this one very brief. Okay, so last week we had the most significant thing, which is the unemployment non-farm payroll on Wednesday. It was supposed to be the previous week on Friday, but they got it pushed until Wednesday at 8:30. So yet again, this is another proof that they are getting ready to reset everything, to reset the system, to reset how we trade, to reset the market, to reset the economy. This is another proof again. They're trying to reset everything. They're trying to reset the amount of hours we trade from 23 hours and 5 days to 24 hours and 7 days. So this is another more proof of that. And then also we also had on Friday at 8:30 we had the CPI. There were quite a bit of numbers there, and so that's what we had going on last week. And taking a look at the fear and greed index, we're definitely heading toward the fear. It seems like right around I think a couple days ago, maybe on around the 28th or the 26th, we had the market almost made a almost new time high, but got closing up but did not get there, and we're kind of like slightly on the neutral. We're not on the greed but on the neutral, but now it's definitively sliding back into the fear because of all the volatility that's involved. So a quick review from what we did last week. I did mention to watch out for this particular area here, which is at around 25 455 and 25 387. This is like a daily gap. So again, for example, if you go into your futures trading account and then you look at daily close, you put on the settlement. If you toggle back and forth, you will see that there's a difference in how the candles look. So if you may be looking at your chart right now and then you don't see this gap, it's probably set up to daily close as last. But if you change it, you'll be able to see all this gap. I like to use those gap because why? Because again, price coming on this area one, two, three, four times and then drop. Okay, so this is to me this is indication of a bear market. I mean, I'm not saying we're officially entering it, but this looked to me a risk signal of bear market, and so price kind of like overwhelmed, and that seems like it may be sliding a little bit lower. So with that being said, let's take a look at the seasonal tendency to see how we're doing. We're doing also on the opposite end of the seasonal tendency. So on February 3rd, and I come back again on around February 10, 11. You're supposed to make a higher high, but price failed to make a high. I actually make a lower low. So to me, this is all indication of a weak bearish market, and that price may end up going target this lows here at well, I think that what day is that? February 5th. So those I'm thinking those lows here, not well, over here on the 6th, February 6th, you may be targeting those lows here. How far lower is going to go? Let's take a look at here. So this particular area here, uh, we have a weekly gap here. So let me take it back to a weekly gap to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So there's this gap here that was created around 9:15, which is September 15, 2025. And if you extend it all the way to the future, it got dip into it around October 6th, dip into it again around November 17th, and dip to it again on February 2nd. So, what is the possibility that is going to dip into it one more time? I would say it's very high, but hold on to your horses. That doesn't mean it's gonna go lower. I think it may end up dipping between the area of 24,293 and 24. What's the half of that one? 24,239. So 24,239 to 24,293 is this area. I feel like it may just keep dropping lower to that particular area and start bouncing back up if it's bullish. But if it's bearish, what may end up happening is price may end up trading low here and then keep dropping lower and lower and lower. I mean, this is not the scenario that I would want, but this is something you're gonna have to anticipate and put it on your chart and to say, hey, if it start going lower and much lower, what particular area he may be targeting. Okay, so and I'm kind of like shifting to all these different um, workspace that I have here, and to kind of show you a particular area of agility. So yeah, so I'm thinking it's probably, if it's bullish, it's gonna attempt to get to that low, try to take it out, but it's not gonna take it out. It's gonna start retracing higher. And with that being said, let's see what are the catalysts next week that's gonna drive that those particular price action. Okay, so next week, so we have Monday, which is a bank holiday, and there's not much going on Tuesday, which is Empire State Manufacturing. We don't manufacture anything, so I don't think that's gonna factor into anything. But FOMC at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, dual trading strategy. I will watch out for that. There will be a lot of volatility, and you may start seeing, if it start going lower and lower, you may see the price index, not price index, but you may start seeing that fear and greed index start dipping on the left, start going on the fear side. Let's see what we got on Friday. So we have flash manufacturing PMI. This usually sometimes create a little bit of a jerk into the market. Like for example, you it may be kind of very close to a low, and then at 9:45 you kind of wick down that relative equal lows, and then it start reversing higher. So I'll watch out on 9:45 for that one. It's not a big deal, but still gotta watch out for that. So that's what we have going on for next week. I do not see any quarterly earning report for next week, but the following week after, on February 25th, we have Nvidia that's reporting the earnings. So not next week, but the following week after that. So I will definitely be on the lookout for that for the following next week, Wednesday. Let's see what else we got here. Let me try to dip it down into a daily chart. Again, when price open on Sunday at 6 p.m., I am expecting it for price to gap a little bit lower. The reason why is because was steadily starting to go much lower around in the afternoon time frame. So you have the AM range here, okay, from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. So you have that range, and then you have the afternoon range, okay, and price kind of jump higher a little bit and kind of reach that bearish order block here and start trading a little bit higher, a little bit lower. I'm sorry. So when market open, I'm anticipating a gap lower, maybe keep trading a little bit lower and lower and lower. Get get very close to clear that low at 24 578, and then start retracing higher, and then maybe start going lower after that. So again, this is just an opinion. It's not the end all be all, but I'm anticipating price to gap lower, keep going lower. And if we see the opposite, then it may end up gapping higher, clear out those highs here, and maybe get close to that new week opening gap, which was the February 8th new week opening gap. Get here, and then maybe a tick into it, or it start going sideways and then start going lower after that. So that's my anticipation. That's what I see going on next week. Again, it may gap lower, keep going lower all the way to 24 578, and then after that, keep going reversing higher, or we may see that it's gap up and then start going higher and higher and get to the level of 25 104 and then start going much lower from there. So that's what we're anticipating for that. So let me get it back to the daily and then kind of show you, if price start going lower, what area we may be anticipating. Let me change that drawing real quick. And yep, so if price is bullish, I'm anticipating it's gonna get close to 24 239 to 24 293, and then start reversing. And then if you start going lower and lower than that, then I mean the bottom is done. So I'm anticipating to the level of 23 to 51, even all the way to 21 444 at some point. If we lose that low here on November 20, on November 21st, 2025. So if we lose that low here and then it start accelerating lower, I got my target area to 21,444. And whew, I mean, to me, I think there are a lot more stuff in the market that predispose for that condition to happen than the opposite of things to go higher. I mean, I don't see anything here that's telling us things are going higher. Um, there's WAR on the other side of the world. There's tariff. We have a new president who's picking a fight with our NATO allies. I mean, it's nothing good here. I mean, if you're trading options, there's a lot of volatility. That's great if you're on the right side. But other than that, I'm seeing things is just gonna go lower and lower from there. With that being said, trade carefully. Do not over leverage. Do not over trade, and pick the right time to trade. With that being said, scientists and techies, we out.